Hey, sweeties. How are you doing? Um, so that was an interesting video, don't you think? I never quite know what's going to come out. It's kind of a performance. Um, but yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. Yeah, that's what I had to own when I disidentified as a man. It was partly because I wanted to be sexy. And the man category that I'm accustomed to did not allow that. That's why I explored feminine identity modalities to make up a phrase. Um, and I enjoy being the object of desire. I explored that. Um, I explored being receptive. I explored a huge range of activities which are prescribed from the category man. Um, it's almost like you have to be an asshole as category man if you feel bad about not being more of an asshole. Yeah, yeah, it's like um, the man identity category. I was very happy to escape it. Um, but so here are sweetie pies. Oh, oh, it is just so interesting. Um, I don't know. It's interesting. I find, and that's what I found, and that's why the transsexual identity category didn't really work for me. Is that so much of what we're calling woman is constructed. It's obvious. You can't, if you get anywhere near there, if you allow that, if you allow yourself to think about that, if the identity categories that you have um, allow that kind of freedom of action. So I wanted to just continue on what I brought up a second ago. Um, the transsexual identity model. Um, my friend Hank, he said, I was calling him identity narrative, and he's saying he prefers model. And I think, yeah, that's a good one. It's a model of how the world works. It's not just a story. Um, the transsexual model I found just deeply, deeply compromised by its fighting for gender binary. This transsexual model can't, it's very resistant to attempts to undermine gender, which is why else would you have to go from one to the other if there's two, right? You know, you got I don't know, you got uh, intellectual cul-de-sac, I think, because you can't question man and woman, and if there's anything we know now is that those things are constructed. So if you have an identity category which says those are biological, those are real, um, man and woman, and I'm switching from man to one woman, and you fight for that identity category. You fight for it not being vague. You fight efforts to deconstruct that identity category because that's that ontology. You need that. Your intellectual edifice is founded on these very solid ideas of gender and sex. But that being the case, I also have to say that the feminist viewpoint of strict social construction, that's not dealing with reality either. I mean, it's like women's studies can get so political. It's like, um, is that a bunch of people have said that social construction is they've kind of decided it has to be true for the good of women. And they're resisting um, other ways of looking. It becomes a conservative intellectual tradition when you do that. Um, So, I mean, there's definitely stuff coming in about sexually dimorphic behavior. The sociobiologists have figured out part of this. There does seem to be some innate femininity, some innate femme, and some innate butch, which is distributed across bodies differently, but that is innate and is biological. So, Pui on if feminist orthodoxy doesn't allow us to look at biology, that's too bad. uh, well, sweet peas. I don't know if I'm going to make another one. Um, thanks for participating in my fashion exploration of these crazy high heels. See, I got a pedicure too. Let's see, that's too far forward. You see it now. So sweet peas. Talk to you later.